So in the previous session, we discussed this sample program. Okay. So what is the transaction code to create the programs? SC38.
SC38.
So what is the type of the program we have to create? Executable program.
Executable
If you go
program.
to attributes, program attributes, you can see if you have already created, if you want to see what are the properties of the program, you can check here. Go to attributes, right? This is the title. Who created this? This is the user who created, and this is the user who last changed the program. Status and the package. Okay. And type of the program. You can check here in the attributes. Okay. So what is the first statement of the program? This one. Report should be the first statement of the program. Okay. And we are using some data objects, right? Variables, right? Here. One is of character type and another one is number type. What is the prerequisite to populate the values to variables? We should define them. We should define the variables or any data object before going to use it. Okay. Without defining a data object, we cannot use it. Okay. Clear? Whatever the data object, that might be a variable, work area, or internal table, even constant, we have to define it. Without defining, we cannot use it. Okay. So now let's create one more program. I'll create class 2. Type of the program is executable program. So for now, we'll select the local object or local package. And you know what will happen if you select local package? We cannot transport it to quality system or production system, whatever the programs we are creating. Those are just local to the development system. Okay. But in projects, we should assign a proper package name for every object, right? Now, today we'll see the other remaining data types like integer, packed decimal, date, time, and we'll try to create some arithmetic operations. How to calculate values in program. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll see a basic arithmetic operation. Okay. So what is the suitable data type for arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction? Can you tell me any suitable data types?
Addition.
Yeah. For arithmetic operations, can you tell me any suitable data type? We have different data types, right? For arithmetic operations, to work with arithmetic operations, what are the data types we have to define?
Integer. Numbers.
I have
This
already told you numbers
Yes.
are not to store the values. It is also some characteristic like phone number, pin codes we can use, but it will work, but that is not for values. Okay.
Oh,
Integer is the suitable data type. Type I. Type I. When I am defining the variable itself, I will provide some value. How can I do that? Sorry, it should constant. Now assign some value. Value 1 equal to sum 10. Please observe, we don't need to use single quotes for the value because it's not a character type. Okay. Equal to sum 3. Now, to display the output, what we need to do? We need to apply some arithmetic operations on these two variables like addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc. We need one more variable, right? For output,
Yes, sir.
for the result value, when we add variable 1 plus variable 2, we need to keep that result value in a separate variable, right? For that, we need one more variable, lv underscore result type I. Now, how can we calculate the value? Lv underscore
Underscore result equal
result
to
equal to
LV underscore value 1 plus LV underscore value 2.
value 2. So we are calculating the value. So now the expected output is 13. So if I execute the program, what you can see in the output? There is no syntax errors. If I execute the program, what is the expected output?
3,
Sorry, how much?
3,
Variable 1, lv underscore value 1 plus lv underscore value 2. What is the output you can see in the
13,
output
sir.
screen? 13.
13.
So can I execute the program?
No, sir. Right statement.
Yeah, it
right.
won't display anything because it will calculate. It will calculate the value, but it won't display the result because we are not using any statement to display the output. Okay, for that, write
LV underscore result.
result. What is the output it is displaying? 13. Understood, right? 1 variable 1 we assigned value 10. For variable 2 we assigned value 3. So now in variable 1 we have 10 and variable 2 we have 3. 10 plus 3, 13 will be populated to result. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Now let's
Yes, sir.
subtract this. I'm using subtraction operator, that is minus. or we'll keep it as it is, and I'll clear the result, and I'll apply one more operation. It is commented text. It is not executable code. Okay. Here I'm clearing the variable, and next I'm using same result variable for another calculation, that is subtraction. So what is the subtraction value? Again same, LV underscore result only. Is it clear? First I have defined three variables. Variable 1 and variable 2 and variable 3 is for output. All are same types, right? All are with the same types, integer type I. am populating data, value 1 and value 2, and next what I am doing? I'm adding these two variables. Variables in the sense the values 10 plus 3, the result I am populating to LV underscore result variable. And then I'm using write statement to display the output. Okay. I'll use backslash. You know why we need to use backslash? To print in the next line. Otherwise, it will print in the same line. This subtraction. Again, once subtraction is calculated and result is populated and it is displayed, result is displayed, what I am doing next? I am applying
Multiplication.
multiplication. Star. Star is for multiplication. Okay. Again, I'm clearing the value, whatever the value available, I'm clearing. And then I'm using new operator, that is multiplication operator, to multiply value 1 and value 2 and populating the result to result variable. And I am using write statement to display that output. And again, we will use division. Clear result, because there is some value already available, right, in LV underscore result. Before this multiplied value, we are clearing that value, and again we are applying multiplication, division. How? Using slash, right, and use write statement. Now we'll subtract one more time, but this time we'll subtract value 2 are we doing here? Value 2 minus value 1. Okay, we are subtracting value 2 from value 1. Before this we are doing one more subtraction, right, that is value 1 minus value 2. Now we are subtracting value 2 minus value 1. Let's see how the result will be displayed. Okay, now let's check the syntax. Activate the program. So value 1 is 13, value 2 is 3. Execute. Okay. Addition. Addition is 13. Value 1 plus value 2 equal to 13. Subtraction. 10 minus 3. Because in variable 1 we have 10 and variable 2 we have 3. 10 minus 3, 7. Correct? And we are
Yes, sir.
multiplying.
10
Variable,
into 3.
yeah, 10 into 3, 30. Division. Division.
10 divided by 3.
10
Point.
divided by 3. It is 3. Subtraction. Again we are subtracting, right? But now this time variable 2 minus variable 1. Right? In the before that we subtracted variable 1 minus variable 2, that is 10 minus 3, 7. Now here what we are doing, 3 minus 10, that is minus 7, right?
Yes.
So what can you understand? Integer can also handle negative values. Okay, integers can also handle negative values. Correct?
Yes.
And
Yes, sir.
observe one more time, division. What is 10 by 3? Is it 3? Let's
No, sir.
calculate.
3 point.
Okay, 10 divided by 3. What is the value? What is the actual value?
3.3.
3 point,
3.233 and
3.33.
so on.
3.33. But what this integer is doing? It is rounding. It is rounding to the nearest value, nearest possible value. 3.3, it is rounding to 3. Is it seal or floor? It's
Seals.
applying seal operation. Seal means rounding to the lowest possible value. Okay. If it is greater than 3.5, how it will round?
4.
It should round as 4. Okay. Let's see that. Maybe we will make it 11. Let's see how it. The value 1 I am changing as 11. So what is 11 by 3? 3.66. How it is rounding now?
4.
4.
4.
So the upper value. Okay. If it is beyond 3.5, it will round as 4. So what can you understand when you see the integer data types? It can handle negative values, right? It can handle negative values as well as if you are doing any calculations, if there are any decimal places, it won't accept the decimal places. It will round the value. Okay, it will round the value. So can you tell me some examples where can we use integers, integer data types? I've told you yesterday, like we can use it for counts, total number of population in the country. There should not be any decimal places, right? For population, like So if someone asks you like how many members are there in your family, it should not be like 3.5, right? It should be 3 or 4, right? Counts,
Yes.
correct? What are the total number of records in a table? Record should be either 1000, 10,000, whatever it may be, but there should not be any decimal places. There is no chance of having decimal places. But if you take some amount or price, if you ask me what is the price of the pen, that might be 10.50 paisa, right? Or 10.30 paisa. It is possible, right? For price. But if you use integer for price, what it will do? It will make 10.5 as 11, correct? So there is a difference of 50 paisa. So integer is not suitable for values like amounts, price, quantity. Okay, we use it for counts. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any questions? So let's do that in the debug mode. We'll see how the program is really working. Where I need to keep the breakpoint? Can you tell me first available line where I can keep the breakpoint?
So 13.
Line number 11, because these three statements are not executable statements. These are all just data declarations. Line number 11, keep a breakpoint at line number 11. How to keep a breakpoint? Just click on this gray area, or you can also use this set breakpoints. Okay, this one, set breakpoint. Select the line and set the breakpoint, or you can simply click here. It will set the breakpoint. Now execute. So I kept the breakpoint. Now we'll see how this program is actually working line by line. So now tell me what I need to press.
F5.
Yeah, F5. F5 is for line by line execution. So there is no values in variables. Populated value 1, populated value 2 with 3. If you observe here, these are hexadecimal values. Hexadecimal value, what is hexadecimal value for 11? This
0
0B,
B
000 some
double zero
value,
double
okay?
0 double 0.
For 3, this is the hexadecimal value, okay? Now, the result is populated with 14, and here we are displaying the result. And then, what is the statement that is executing here? Clear statement, right? Now, what is the expectation now after executing the clear statement?
It will clear
Which one?
the result. The result.
Only the result, okay?
14.
The result is cleared. Now it is empty. Again, I'm calculating and displaying the result. Now I have 8. Next time, to use it for a different purpose, to use this variable for a different purpose, I'm clearing it and calculating again and displaying that result as output. Completed. Then again clearing it, using it for different calculation and displaying the output. Right? So 4 minus 11, sorry, 3 minus 11 minus 8. This is the hexadecimal value for minus F8. So this is how integer will work. Okay.
Sir, at the same time, can you tell the watch point, sir?
We'll discuss that in the previous session because
Okay, okay,
watch points are not useful here. Okay.
okay, sir. Yeah.
There should be proper scenario, right? To use
Yes,
some
yes,
option. Okay.
yes, sir.
Then you can have better understanding. If you
Yeah.
unnecessarily use watch points here, you cannot understand the importance of it. Okay.
Okay.
I'm creating one more. I'm creating one more program, executable program. Mm, Inputs. Type of the program, save, executable program, and click on save. Now what I am doing in the previous program, what we did, we fixed some values in the program and we applied the arithmetic operations. Do we have a choice to change the values in our previous program?
No, sir.
No, every time we have to do the same calculation on the same values. But now I wanted to provide an option for the users so that they can do calculations on their own choice. One time they can use 10 and 3 and the other time they can use the different values. We don't know what are the values they are going to use. For that, we'll provide an option for the users. So what is the statement to define the user inputs? Parameters, Parameters, parameters. Okay. What is the use of parameters? It is to define the user inputs, input parameters, input values, so that before going to execute the program, before going to display the output, users can enter their values or their inputs. Okay. Now define the parameter for to enter the value 1 and value 2. So parameter is the syntax or parameter is the statement to define the inputs. We'll give some name. Can you tell me one name for parameter for value 1 and value 2? I'll use like this. Since these are the parameters, I'll use this naming convention. P underscore value 1 type I type I. Check the syntax. So I defined two input parameters, value 1 and value 2. How these are different from variables? Variables can just accept the values. It cannot provide an option to enter the inputs. Okay. But parameters, using parameters, we can enter the inputs to execute the program. Clear? So there is no syntax error. So these are to accept the inputs. We need a variable to hold the result, right? Data lv underscore result type I. Clear what we are doing here? Now check the syntax and activate the program. and just execute it, how it will display. Now it is displaying two inputs, and then first we need to enter the inputs and then we need to execute the program. Then the output will be displayed. What we call this screen? What is the name of this input screen? We call this as selection screen. What is the screen we call?
Selection
This is
screen.
called selection screen, where we enter the user inputs. You can make a short note of it. So the screen where we enter the inputs for the program is called selection screen. Okay. Now the values are dynamic. Result equal to p underscore value 1 plus value 2, and then write lv underscore result. Are we providing any values here? Are we defining any values?
No, sir.
No. So these values should be dynamically populate. Okay, clear? So check the syntax. So we have two screens, selection screen and output screen. What can you see in selection screen? Inputs, user inputs, where you need to enter the input values for the program. So where can you see the output? In the output screen. The output will be displayed in output screen. Whatever you are using, write statement, right? This will be displayed in output screen. Where can you see the parameters? In selection screen, right? So there is a syntax error. What is this error? The write is not expected. A correct similar statement is WRITE. So there is a typo, right? So it is suggesting correct syntax. So if you just click here, it will automatically correct that. Line number 16, there is one more error. Correct it. It will automatically correct the error. Clear? And activate. Execute. In value 1, 10. Value 3, 4. Execute. This is the output, right? Addition, subtraction. Sorry, division, right? We are using division operation. Okay. Execute. So it will display the selection screen. In the selection screen, enter the user inputs. So it is rounding to 0, 3 by 8. Okay. So every time, whenever you execute the program, first it will display the selection screen and user will enter the inputs of his choice and execute the program, and it will display the output in the output screen. So what do we call this screen where you can see the inputs?
Selection screen.
Selection screen. If you observe the names, input parameter names, it is as it is like whatever we use in the program declaration. But
Yes.
when we provide the program to the user, what they can see? They can see this program. So once we created this program and testing is completed and we transported it to production. Now it is in production system. What is the screen that actually end user, whoever using this program can see? They can see this report or code.
No, no,
No, no,
selection
no.
screen.
No, no, sir.
They
Only
can
selection.
they can only see
Selection screen.
whenever they execute this program, they can directly see this selection screen with the input parameters, and they can enter the inputs, right? And execute the program, and it will display the output screen. But if you look at these parameter names, it is not convenient to understand for the user what he needs to enter here. Okay, because it is purely a technical name, right? Whatever the technical name we are assigning in the program level. But in the selection screen, we can provide a user friendly name for this. How can you provide the name? Go to text elements. Observe this. For input parameters, we can assign some general name so that it won't display this technical name. So for users, it is easy to understand what they have to enter. Text elements, go to selection text. What you can see here, whatever the parameters you defined in the program, you can see those two parameters here. So text, provide some text. I'll provide some text like this. Save and activate. What are we creating here? We are creating the selection text. Okay. Go back to the program. Where you can find this? Go to text elements, selection text. Okay. And it should be in active mode. Now execute the program. Now, instead of technical names, it is displaying some plain text, easy to understand, right? For the users, what he needs to enter. They may not be able to understand what is p underscore value like that. Okay. Again, since we are using p underscore value 1, they can be able to understand, but we should not display the technical names in the selection screen. We should provide selection text. Okay. Clear?
So here we are storing two results in the same variable, sir. No need to clear it.
Huh.
Like
Yeah,
before
it is
program.
recommended to clear. It is recommended to clear, but usually it will overwrite the existing value. Okay. Let's see in the
Okay.
debug mode. You execute F5. Result is 11, F5. Now result is still 11. Now what we are doing here, 3 by 8. What it is doing? 3 by 8 is some 0.33. So it is rounding to 0. Overwrite the existing value is overwrite with new value. Okay. But it is always recommended to clear the value before using it in next calculations, further
Okay.
conditions. Okay. So there is one limitation for the parameters you should understand. So how many characters? What name? Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? I'll use like this: value 1, value 2. Now check the syntax. I'll comment this. First, we'll check parameter syntax, whether it is working or not. Check the syntax. What it is saying?
8 characters only, up to 8 characters.
Parameter name can be up to 8 characters, should not be more than 8 characters. That is the limitation. You should define a parameter with less than 8 characters of the name. Okay?
Instead of two, you can give
Huh.
two numbers.
Yes, whatever. Like you can choose your name like p underscore val 1, like that also you can give, but it should be less than 8 characters. The name should be less than 8 characters. Okay? You should remember that when you are defining the parameters. Clear? Already defined. Where are we defining again? Okay.
8 ones.
Activate. It is clear, right? Now we'll change this to packed decimal. P decimal 2. Two decimal places like this 10.50. Two decimal places means after decimal you have two values. P means packed decimal. What is the suitable when we use packed decimal? For price, quantity or values. When we calculate price, quantities or any price kind of values, right? We use packed decimal because even a single paisa also important, right? For an organization, correct?
Yes.
If your organization is selling pens, that might be in decimals like 10.50 paisa, 5.30 paisa, like that, right? If you don't consider those decimal values, it will show huge difference in their accounts, right? Even if you take any bank, for example, if you take SBI, if they ignore 1 paisa every day they ignore 1 paisa in every transaction, then what will happen? It will be in lakhs of rupees. The total amount what they ignored will be lakhs of rupees, right? Across the country, if they ignore even 1 paisa, right?
Yes.
So 1 paisa also counts. So for that kind of calculations, we use packed decimal with decimal places. Result also I'll use the same type. Decimal places 2. Now check. Execute. 10 and 3. 10 plus 3, 13.00. Division 3.33. If we use integer, how it will work? It will round it to 3, right? It won't consider that 0.33 paisa, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah. So for this kind of values, we use packed decimal. It will calculate as it is. It won't round off. Okay. Now let's see the other scenario. 10 minus 3. How it will work? Sorry, we are not dividing, right? We'll add 1 for division. Sorry, not division, subtraction. Three, I'll give 10. So 3 minus 10 minus 7.00. Okay. Division 30 paisa. 0.30. Clear? So now tell me, what is the maximum allowed length for a parameter name?
8, 8.
8 characters.
Less than 8.
Yeah, within 8 characters. Okay, clear? Similarly, depends on your requirement, you can define any number of parameters. So now we have used only 2 parameters. Depends on your requirement, you can define more parameters and variables. Okay, simple. To provide inputs, define parameters. To hold some value, define variable. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Program always should be in active state. If you do even a small change, it will make it inactive. You cannot execute this. So you should activate it to execute the program. Okay.